And we're live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Social Studies in the afternoon. I'm Allie Uplinger, and we are live with our special guest, John Locke, one of the most important thinkers in the Enlightenment time period. How have you been since then?
I've been very well, thank you.
You're welcome. So, are you ready for some questions?
Sure am. Ask away.
Okay, where were you born?
I was born in Rington, Somerset, England on August 29, 1632.
That's a beautiful place, England.
Indeed so. It was a very marvelous place to live.
That's wonderful. Where were you educated, Mr. Locke?
I went to the school at Westminster School, Christ Church, Oxford, and I received my BA at Oxford in February.
That's very impressive background you have.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us about your most famous book, The Second Treatise of Government.
In my book, I argue that sovereignty resides in the people and explain the nature of legitimate government and the times of our natural rights in the social contract.
That sounds nice. Now tell us about some of your beliefs.
I believe that all people were born with natural rights, such as liberty, life, and property. I also believe that people have the right to overthrow the government when the time arose and to do so.
Interesting. What are some of your views on the issue of slavery?
I believe that slavery is a very vile thing, and anyone who believes in it should be a slave himself.
That's a very interesting thought. Now tell us about your other article of writing, an essay concerning human understanding.
That one was one of my first defenses of empiricism, the theory of acknowledgement that the states come from experience and determines the limits of human understanding in a wide variety of topics. This tells us what a person can legitimately claim to do and what one cannot do.
That sounds lovely. And what are your views on the democratic form of government?
Well, that's interesting. Okay. I believe that the government has an obligation to tend to its people. All men were born free and equal, and the government should protect these rights. If a government fails to do so, it should be replaced with a better, more competent government. I believe in the separation of legislation and executive powers. I also believe in the separation of church and the state, and that churches should not have some powers over its members. If the majority of the people vote on a particular topic, then the majority vote will get. Those are just some of my beliefs, also stated in great detail in my writings.
What do you believe about the separation of powers?
The legislative and the executive powers need to be separated. The legislative powers is supreme in authority, and the people should be employed. It is also bound by the law of nature, and a lot of what it does sets laws that help the further goals of the natural law and shows appropriate punishment for each. The executive powers then in its charge will enforce the punishments.
That's an awesome concept, and we're out of time. That was Mr. John Locke. Thank you, John, for coming.
It was my pleasure. I hope your viewers enjoy having me on your show today.
I'm sure they did. Thank you for watching. This is Social Studies in the Afternoon. I'm Allie Uplinger with our special guest, John Locke, and have a wonderful day.
And cut.